Hi Virgo. This is casting with your 2019 end of December into January 2020 general reading. Sorry that it took so long, but I been running around with my family all month, honestly. And yeah, spending time with them and enjoying it. But anyway, such a good reading. I'm so excited to get into it. It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. All right, let's get into it. So, first card out, Seven of Pentacles. This is Earth energy. Um, Tons of Earth energy here, you guys, first of all. But anyway, Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, proper use of cycles and rhythms. And so, what this card speaks to is a new cycle of fertility manifesting in your life right now, like the doorway being open for that. But it's about the natural flow of that for you. So it says, there's no need to force it because it's all natural. It's all natural. Like the changes that are occurring, the things that you're manifesting, the direction that you're headed in, it's all natural. So it doesn't really require you to be a worker bee for it, if that makes sense. Um, this says that the proper use of cycles and rhythms, right? Cycles and rhythms. You already have all of the knowledge and everything that you need inside of you. It's really about just kind of sitting, waiting, and allowing it to come forth, right? Be still, right? If you don't know what to do, uh, right now this says just be still and wait because the knowledge is already there and it will rise up if you just sit and be quiet. The card is represented by the rabbit, and the story that the book speaks about when I read it about the rabbit is how it's born into the lunar cycle. And so once it's born, 28 days later, it can live on its own and alone and be gone and be out. Only in 28 days. That's a very short time. And so for you with this energy, it's the same thing, right? It says like once like if you're in a time or a moment where you don't know what to do or you feel like you don't have the answers, 28 days, right? Figuratively speaking, like sit and just wait and give it a moment because the knowledge is already there and it will come up, right? You don't need to overwork yourself, overstudy. You don't need to get into like that kind of mode. Like it is already there. It's more a matter of how you're getting to and accessing it, right? Hope that makes sense. Anyway, uh, then we have the Eight of Swords. This is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Time to free emotions and anxieties. And so, what this card speaks to is exactly that, right? A time of freeing emotions, anxieties, flying free, becoming lighter, lifting off burden, right? What this also speaks to is that there could be a rise in the intensity of emotions right now, and you could be in that energy, or that energy could be around you, or you could be dealing with somebody with that energy where there's just intense emotion, a rise of emotions happening right now, and your vision could be blocked due to worry and anxiety or an intensity of emotions in those areas, right? If that's the intensity that you're feeling, an intensity of worry, an intensity of anxiety, an intensity of nervousness, then it's blocking your vision, right? It's an illusion, right? So this says to find new ways of dealing with, expressing, dealing with emotions, expressing your emotions, navigating your emotions and your feelings so that you're not walking around with blurry vision, essentially, right? So that you're seeing things clearly for what they are, right? So that you're seeing people for what they are, opportunities, situations. Don't allow intense emotions to have you in a haze, right? And so immediately out with the Seven of Pentacles followed by the Eight of Swords, it's telling me that you are in a really great time, a really beautiful energy of manifesting. You're headed in a really good direction, and you don't really need to do much except for trust yourself and relax. You know what I mean? Trust yourself and relax, and trust the proper cycles and rhythms of life, right? That knowledge is there. It's going to come up, and then it will inform me. And then I will hear it and I'll do whatever I need to do from that point. Let's keep going. So then you got the Page of Swords. This is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, unexpected magic and energy. And so this card speaks about the energy of magic and unexpected opportunities being at play, right? The Page of Swords, that's the page delivers, right? The page brings in something, right? News or a package or a delivery, right? The page comes to tell news. And so unexpected magic and creativity is saying that right now you have access to that, right? Magic, you can create, you can transform. Opportunities to create are presenting themselves to you every day. Are you seizing them? Right? Do you see them? Are you taking snatching those opportunities as they present themselves? And it also speaks to like group or like group project like in school, but like group projects or group work or group activities or group situations being favored. And so you could be working with the group. This could be a work situation that's saying just to kind of chill, relax, do your thing, and know that whatever you need to know or whatever information you might be seeking, you already have. And it's just a matter of being in the proper timing and rhythm of life for it to cycle up, right? Don't try to get ahead of the curve kind of thing. Not in a bad way. You know what I mean? I know you want to know everything. You want everything to be right. You want to make sure you're well studied. But there's also an element here that says, you know, just chill for a second. Take a deep breath, right? Because with the Page of Swords here, this says that as you free yourself of emotions and anxieties, and as you clear off the lenses, come out of the space of reacting off of high intensity of your emotions. Maybe you've just went through a high emotional experience, or just right now you're feeling an overwhelm of emotions. But as you come out of that and you kind of clear the lenses of that and you trust the natural flow of life, this Page of Swords is bringing you in all of this magic and all of these unexpected opportunities, and things are just popping up for your good. That's like, oh, I didn't have to like do 5 cartwheels for this. All I had to do was just sit and be myself. Oh, I see. Right? So, and then I noted on this card what came to me as well is like a new birth or a rebirth out of darkness, right? Comes out of darkness. So like the day gives, or the night rather, gives birth to a new day, right? Like you go to sleep and it's dark and you wake up and it's bright and it's a new day and it's like, all right, what are we doing now? Great. Like a whole fresh new start, right? And then like a mother's womb is dark, and then this baby comes out and it's like shocked, like, what, you know what I mean? What is going on? You know, birth. And so you might have gone through, or might have just gone through, this could be for just some, a very dark experience or a time of darkness, or with this Eight of Swords coming out as well, right before this Page of Swords, a time of high emotions, emotional intensity, just feeling really maybe heavy or overwhelmed. And this is saying that you're coming out of that. Um, and through that experience, or through kind of that darkness that you perceived as darkness, new magic and creativity and a rebirth is occurring, right? You know, it's literally like, I feel like I see a baby like being birthed, and it's literally like, you know, it's in shock. What is going on? Like, one minute I'm sitting here, you know, cradled up in this, you know, dark cozy womb. The next minute they're tugging and grabbing and yanking and da da da, and it's pitch black, and then bam, you're into this new world, right? That's the energy here for you. But with it being the Page of Swords, this is like quick. This is unexpected. This is out of nowhere. This is unexpected opportunities. This is blessings dropping from the sky. This is magic, magical happenings, right? So then you got the Temperance card. This is Sagittarius energy, new dreams in new realms. And so what this speaks to is new energy, new dreams, new promise, at play and already kind of being secured, right? Is what I get for you. Like, this Page of Swords is bringing you in this unexpected magic and energy and opportunities. Like, it's here. You freed yourself. You've learned how to get in the flow. You found that balance, right? And then Temperance card comes and it says, all right, you've got it. It's here, but take your time, right? You're taking your time with it, right? This is more of you learning the balance. This is more of you learning how to see both sides of things for yourself. This is learning that I don't have to overwork in order to be successful. I can work and I can rest. I can research and I can just think. I can meditate and I can research. Virgo, like double research. But right, so this is for you with this spread. What I'm feeling, the Temperance card is speaking more to the promise of everything that you're working towards. Like, it is there, you see it, it's there, and there's no, you shouldn't worry about it. It is there, the promise is there, but you can take your time. And it's teaching you balance as you're learning how to free yourself of the way that you deal with intensity in your emotions. Like, you're learning how to not go to extremes, right? You're learning the balance with your emotions, keeping it right in center. You're learning what works for you in order to achieve that balance. That is taking you into this beautiful new space of opportunities where you can be wildly creative. You can free all of these amazing ideas that are trapped in your head, right? The Page of Swords brings you that freedom, right? That magic that says, all right, now go do it. It's happening. It's here. The energy assists you, right? And then the Temperance card comes and it secures that promise, but it says that you are allowed to take your time, right? And the Temperance card also, it says, you know, use your current security to use your current security to as a platform to explore and go forward with your more, right? With your future, with this promise, right? And so it's like, I'll use myself as an example. Like, I wanted to shoot a music video, right? At earlier this year, and I was working at a job, and so I used the money from my job, right? I was at a secure job. I used that as a resource in order to shoot a music video, which was a creative dream of mine, right? It had nothing to do with my job, two different things. And so for me, with this Temperance card coming out for you, it tells me for you, take stock of the resources that you have and use them for this new promise, right? Don't abandon the security that you have. If there's something that you're going for that you want to work for or do, don't abandon that. The universe and God's spirit has brought you this security for a reason, so that you can take the time to do the work to learn how to be balanced and in the flow of life. Learn how to deal and operate with your emotions and find new ways of handling them so that they don't block you, so that they don't get in the way, so that you don't swing from extremes on the pendulum of emotions, right? And then it brings you in this unexpected magic and opportunities and creativities and this promise and all these things that may flood you, right? It's like, oh my God, I want to do this, I want to do that. I know exactly where I'm headed in life. I know exactly where I'm headed in life. But then, bam, temperance comes and says, slow down, 10 speed. You know what I mean? Like, temperance card comes and says, you got it. I'm not taking anything away from you. You got it, but take your time. Put the pieces of the puzzle together. Use what you have now to propel you. No need to start over fresh. No need. No need to go to ground zero, right? Your work here is learning how to operate and deal with your emotions and create balance so that you can deal with this new promise, so that you can work with it in the proper way. But in terms of resources and security, I feel like that's here. There's a lot of earth energy here. So I do feel like you're strongly supported. But, use that support and that security to prepare yourself. Let's move forward. So then you've got the Six of Pentacles. This is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. And this is reclaiming power and fruits of labor. So yeah, you are reclaiming your power. Period, point blank, right? There's no real special story around that one. This is rising up like the phoenix, right? But in a very beautiful, grounded way. And you're self-assured. You're really trusting yourself. You're disciplined and controlled. You have your eye on the prize. You are a survivor, right? Is what I get from this. I made a note of that when I pulled this card that came to me, survivor. And, and this comes out under the Seven of Pentacles, the proper use of cycles and rhythms. And so I feel like, again, as you're learning this balance, right? As you're learning the balance with your emotions, and as you're learning how to become a little more lighthearted and carefree, you're kind of learning how to just take moments to just be, rather than always thinking and doing and trying to figure out. As you're doing that, you're rising up into a whole new power that you don't even recognize or see, right? Like, you're rising up into a whole new power, and you're reclaiming this new sense of power to move yourself forward, right? You may have felt really powerful before. I am here to tell you that there is a new power that you're stepping into that is going to be so beneficial for you, right? Really beautiful energy, you guys, honestly. And then with the Nine of Pentacles, earth energy again, lots and lots of earth energy. This is working for our dreams. So I feel like that's you guys, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I mean. You're totally doing it. You're doing the work. So trust yourself and don't overwork. Don't overthink, right? This card is represented by the beaver. Beavers are extremely smart, and they are always building and repairing their homes, right? They have, I feel like in like animal world, really nice accommodations because they work for it and they take their time and they're steady. And you will never really catch a beaver without a fly home, right? And they work together, right? They lean on each other, but they're very smart. And these things, they're small in nature, but they chop down trees and build homes and build dams, and they do all of these really magnificent things, but they do it one step at a time, and they take their time with it, right? And so this card speaks about now putting physical work into manifesting your life and your dreams, right? I feel like over the next 12 months, that is the energy that you're in. You're working for it. And again, I don't mean overworking. I just mean you're putting the pieces together, right? You're sitting down at the puzzle and you're like, all right, I see this. Here's the picture. I see the picture. I see the finished product. Now I'm putting these pieces together and I can work it out. I know what I'm doing, right? That's what you're doing. And you've learned how to balance your emotions so that while you're putting the puzzle together, you're not pissed and frustrated when you don't figure this out and throw the puzzle and all the pieces fly, right? Like you're now this new, you're in this new power and energy where it's just like, all right, I'm doing this. I'm doing life and I'm doing it well. And okay, I see my, all right, okay. Like you've learned that, right? So working for our dreams, you're taking on the energy of the beaver. You know what I mean? One step at a time, but consistent, right? Persistent, right? Um, this also, because working for our dreams, and it is represented by the beaver, and they're consistent and persistent, but they don't just sit around. Like if their home needs something, they're doing it and they make sure the home is repaired. Like they're kind of always in a constant state of upkeep. And so this card also speaks to making sure you are being mindful that you are putting in the work. And again, I want to harp on not overworking yourself, but just make sure that you are moving towards this picture that you have. Don't get stuck visualizing, right? You need a home to live in. So you can't just sit and think about and visualize the home. You can, because you need to see what you're doing and you need to make sure you have clear steps. But I feel like you have that. You have the knowledge, you have the clear steps. So now start building brick by brick, one at a time. It won't be built overnight, but you're doing it. And you're doing it in a very even balanced space. It's very beautiful. And the promise is already there. It's yours. But you've learned how to handle yourself so that you can build this house, right? It's such beautiful energy. Like I can just feel it. Like it's like hugging me. Whew. Anyway, then you have the King of Pentacles, Earth energy again, strength, nobility, and generosity. But this comes out in reverse, right? So in reverse, what this speaks to is it could be like a carelessness or like not watching over your activities properly, right? So again, coming out right behind the Nine of Pentacles, working for our dreams. This says when you reclaim your power and you come into this new power and this new balance, don't like use it properly, right? Again, maintain that balance and make sure you are working for your dreams. Don't get stuck only visualizing or in the head space or get stuck planning or get stuck researching or get stuck there. Like make sure you are doing physical things to build the house, right? I'll keep going with that metaphor. Like make sure you're doing physical things to build the house. And make sure you are being mindful of ideas or things that may come up for you. Like this, coming out after the Nine of Pentacles, working for our dreams. This just says make sure you're doing that. Don't stall out. Don't stall out, right? Don't get stuck in your head. Don't stall out. Make sure you're always pushing forward with this. Make sure each day you're laying another brick, right? You don't have to overwork yourself, but make sure that you're taking time and checking in and seeing like, okay, yeah, I'm building this house and it feels really good and I'm not frustrated and I'm not now, extremely happy and flying back to mad and like I'm balanced and I feel good and I'm taking my time and I'm working at it, but I'm building this house, right? Don't stall out. And this also says to, don't allow, like if you're perceiving certain things as threats, they're not, right? Don't get stuck. Don't allow dumb things to pop up and stall you out, right? The things that you could be perceiving as a threat most likely are not. You're just in your head. So do away with it and push forward. Nine of Pentacles, working for our dreams. Continue to do that because the promise is here, you guys. The promise is here. It's like I get someone when you go and you like sign for a new house, but you're building it, right? And you go to that meeting where you buy the plot, you buy that, you pick out the, you pick out the floor plan and the layout of the house, and you see it and you know exactly but the house is not built yet, but you sign the papers and the dotted line, and it belongs to you, and you start paying and it's yours. And then now they start building this house, and you drive into the plot and you're checking in and you see a windows up in the door and you're checking in, and it's exciting and you're building up to this is you right now, right? This is you. So it's like if the contractor pops up or if you show up to the plot one day and you don't see anybody out there working, and now you're frantic and you're stuck in your head. Well, did they run out of materials or what's happening to them? No, they just went to lunch, right? Like a perceived threat is not really a threat right now for you. Like what you're seeing, your vision, after you freed yourself of worry and anxiety and you've cleared the lenses, you're seeing clearly and you know it. You know where you're headed. You see you've bought the house. The floor plan is picked out. And you've picked it out, and you down to the detail, you know it, and you know it well. So now just start laying the bricks, or hire your people and have them start laying the bricks, and you make sure you're checking in and make sure you're consistently moving the needle forward, because the promise is already secured. No need to worry. No need to be stuck in your mind. It's yours. So then next out, you've got the Hangman, Major Arcana. Temperance card is Major Arcana as well. So this could signify a lot of big changes and shifts. That's why I really feel like this is a big deal for you. Like you're really moving into such a beautiful time. You're making things happen, right? But then you've got the Hangman. This is Pisces energy. You could be dealing with the Pisces, could be dealing with the Sag, could be dealing with another earth sign if this is love related for you, or could be dealing with an air sign. But this is the Hangman, new truths and perceptions. And so this energy is, it's about revealing truths to create change for your good, right? So some sort of truth is revealed and uncovered, right? Or some new perception is brought forth, right? Your mind changes and you see something differently, or you put on different glasses and you now see clearly. New truths are happening around you. You're changing. People around you are changing, and you're seeing it very clearly, and it's creating change for you and for your benefit. Right? That's the Hangman, especially with this spread, right? It's the promise, again, you guys, the promise of rebirth and coming out of darkness. What did I say earlier with reclaiming your power and the fruits? The Temperance card, new dreams and new realms, right? There has been a rebirth for you that is undeniable. It is just like obvious. And through this rebirth, you have learned new things about yourself. You've gone to new depths with yourself. You see yourself differently. Like you really do. You really see yourself differently, and you feel differently, right? And people see and feel you differently and experience you differently, right? There has been a change, and you've learned to get into the flow of life, right? It's like you've bumped and now you're just, if you've ever been in like a lazy river at a water park and you're just floating and you're going somewhere, you're not just floating in place. You're definitely going somewhere, but you're going somewhere and it's nice and it's easy and you're in the flow and you see the end. You see it, but you're just flowing, and you've learned how to do that. Whereas before you didn't really have that energy. You couldn't do that flow and that balance and be easy with it. You have learned that. Through this rebirth, you are a new person, and there's unexpected opportunities. There's magic falling from the sky for you. There is promise here, right? That contract, that new house is being built, and the contract flew out of the sky and it slapped you, and you signed, and you got a beautiful deal on it, and you have all the tools and resources, and now it's all a matter of just watching it be built. Jeez. So then you've got the Three of Swords, bottom of the deck, the Three of Swords, and this is healing of the heart, air energy. This came out in reverse. And so what this speaks to, and I want to read this, I wrote notes on this card because it's really powerful, and especially in reference to this read, and I'm going to read it directly. Childhood learned behaviors and patterns could be affecting you. Be careful. Oh, be careful with that. Okay, so with that, be careful and be mindful. Wear your spiritual goggles. Make sure your eyes and your ears are open. Be mindful of yourself in the way that you behave, and make sure that you're not being informed by old patterns. It could be childhood. It could just be old patterns from a different time period of your life. But make sure that you're not being informed by that and letting that affect the way that you're moving. Childhood behaviors, trauma, patterns, whatever, can be so ingrained that you just don't even see it operating and working. You know what I mean? You just feel like, well, this is just me. This is just me. And it's like, no, that is a learned behavior that doesn't have to be you. If you want it to be you, sure. But it doesn't have to be. Especially when you have all of this beautiful energy here and you don't want to sabotage it operating. I have to say this, and my friends are going to be like, you've been talking about this all week, but it keeps coming up. I feel like, and especially with the eclipse that we just had, that we're having, I feel like there's there's a reboot that's happening for you, or that has happened, and it's like you can no longer operate off of an old system. Like spirit is trying to download new things, new applications, right, into your consciousness, and if you're operating on an old system, it rejects it. Because the old system says, I can't take in that data. I can't run that system. I can't do that application because I'm too old. You have to reboot and you have to update that system so all this new stuff can be downloaded and you can then be operating on that. Be careful with childhood learned behaviors and patterns affecting your now. You could be experiencing problems and upsets with matters of the heart. You need to be more nurturing with those closest to you, and create more attempts at peacemaking, which will break those old patterns of hurt and open doors for resolution. Sorry, I could not read my own handwriting. But yes, so again, you guys, I feel like overall it's more about you getting into the flow of life, trusting the proper flow and cycles, and freeing yourself of the extreme emotional, that, you know, the seesaw that you once were on with your emotions. You've learned the balance with your emotions, and you may still be doing more work at healing old patterns, or you just may be in this energy right now where, like I said, you're seeing so clearly that things are coming up for you quick and unexpected, where you're like, whoa, didn't know I needed to deal with that. Whoa, didn't know I needed to deal with that. But you're dealing with it, right? You're dealing with it. And there may be opportunities around you right now to be more nurturing and to take on a softer approach that maybe you're not used to taking on, and that energy is there. And for you, it may be like, I don't, I want to give you a hug, I think. You know what I mean? But it's like there has been a rebirth and there has been a reboot, and your system's been updated, and you are a new person. You've taken on new energy. You've taken on a new power, right? You're walking in new shoes. So it's like, close the old doors, chop those patterns, nip them in the bud, let them be gone, release them, and open up doors for resolution in any area of your life where you don't feel resolved. Right? By you breaking those old patterns, you are opening those doors for resolution. There might be relationships in your life that you felt like there is no hope for, right? But by you really claiming and walking and taking on this new energy that you're in, that I know for a fact you're feeling, right? And you breaking old patterns of the past and really examining those and becoming more of a nurturing entity, more of a nurturing energy, taking that on. You are breaking those old things and those old chains, and you are opening doors for resolution and for yourself, right? You're allowing yourself to be able to move forward in the healthiest way possible. Such a beautiful reading, you guys. So in pulling clarity, insane. First card out, the beaver. Come on, you guys. The beaver, clarifying this spread. So this tells me, again, you are working towards that future. You have the plan. You have all the knowledge that you need, right? And you have the plan. You know, it's just innate. So you don't really need to rely on outside opinions and everybody else's thoughts and opinions, right? Now, there is like a favorite energy, like I said, here for group work and group projects and things like that. So what that feels for me, for you, is don't get into an energy, the hermit energy, where you feel like you have to shut down, close yourself out, and you don't need anyone, right? You can get help. You can act, you use the resources and the security that you have. Open your eyes and look around you and see where you can pull from to build this house. Get help to build the house, but do know that you have the plan, right? The template, the man with the plan, the blueprint. You have it. You know what needs to be done, right? Next card out, you've got the crow. This is spiritually watchful, right? And so again, this is you learning that balance with your emotions, and also learning the balance between kind of tapping into your spiritual side and being able to access that and use that as a comfort when you slow down and take time and get into the flow, right? You're learning how to tap that so that you don't become frantic and want to overwork yourself, right? You're using that and you're embodying that energy to maintain. You've used that to achieve that balance. Now you're using it as the tool and resource to maintain that balance, right? Really strengthening your spiritual muscles, you guys. And then you got the crocodile, right? And so the crocodile is about resting and collecting energy and cooling out, right? And so really what this is about, the crocodile, when the crocodile, they don't, I feel like they don't really go out hunting. Like they can go a really long time without eating, but there's the promise of food. They know that food is going to pop up. They know that something is going to come, and they just sit there. When you see crocodiles, you don't even know if they're alive or not. It's just sitting there, so frozen and still. But then when something pops up and it's food and there's prey, bam, they're on it. You know what I mean? And so this is you taking on that energy where you're not overworking yourself. You're not doing the most. You're just like, wow, I possess everything I need. I'm capable. I have all the abilities. I don't need to do too much. I just need to get into the flow and trust that when it's time to strike, I'll know when to strike. Right? You guys, this is really, really beautiful. Really beautiful. So let's ask our angels for advice. All right, you guys. So first card out, we got opportunity to forgive. This situation brings you the opportunity to heal, grow, and release negative patterns. Hold the intention of seeing the other person's inner divine light and goodness. We will help you release unforgiving thoughts, feelings, and energies and lift you to a higher place of peace and compassion. Opportunity to forgive, you guys. So this new energy that you're going into, what I feel like this means for you is this new power you're taking on in this rebirth that has happened for you, like I said, and with the Three of Swords on in reverse on the bottom of the deck. You're working through things, right? You're figuring it out. You're working through things and you are healing, and you're just everything that doesn't benefit you, right? You're realizing all of the old patterns, the old feelings, the old emotions, any grudge things. You're realizing that it just doesn't serve you. There's just no purpose for it. And so you're nipping it in the bud. You're forgiving yourself. You're just clearing and cleansing, right? I feel like that is what this means for you. And then you got ground yourself. When you detach from awareness of your body in the physical world, you become ungrounded. Although it's pleasant to float heavenward, your attention and work are needed upon the earth. We're helping you balance the spiritual and material so that you can enjoy a fulfilling earthly life. You guys, so this is clarifying and sending you advice for what I was saying about make sure you continue to work. Don't just sit and think about the house. Make sure you're building the house, because the house is, it's promised to you already. So don't allow old patterns or emotions or anything to trip you up, right? Clear it out, forgive, talk, hash out, let go, do whatever you have to do to maintain that peace and that balance and that new power that you've stepped into, and then ground yourself and hit the ground and get to work, right? Start building the house, because you've already bought it. You own it. You own the land and all the materials and everything, and now it's just a matter of building it. So ground yourself and get to it, right? All right, I love you guys. This was a really, 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 really great reading, man. Really great reading. All right. If it resonated, please let me know. I feel like I was like screaming the entire time, but I feel very passionate about this, and this was just such great energy. You guys are moving into a really, 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 really great and powerful time, I promise. So yeah, let me know how it resonates. I'll talk to you next time. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If it resonated with you, please like, share, or subscribe, or all three. If you'd like to book a personal reading, please look at the information below. If there are no appointments available at the link, feel free to email me and I can try to find a slot for you that works. And if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I'm on Instagram at Cashton, CASHTONNN, 3 N's. And I cannot wait to speak to you guys next time. Thank you so much for all your support.